Excellent. You're good. All right.
I haven't seen them say that. I haven't seen whoever ordered it. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that definitively stated who ordered it. And it's like it's one thing to open it up. It's material change. No, but they it's all like it's something that happened. Sure.
It's never going to be enough. And so the answer that's it is. Very excellent. All right. I'm going to just go with it and hope that you're all there. Okay. Anyway, I'm recording anyway. Worst case, I can do that. Alright, so into it. Hang on. Change the screen. So, hello there, everyone. Again, if you just came from my other reading, then this is, of course, about the business partners now. If you didn't, then hello for the first time. We'll be reading now about how mewsuppasit is currently feeling towards Tulpacorn. How is mewsuppasit currently feeling towards Tulpacorn? Now, they're possibly about to go on their joint venture of building some place, as shown in their pictures, etc. Oh, look, we got all 5 cards at once. Isn't that nice? Alright. So we have Queen of Coins. I think I'll take it as it came, as it showed up. So Queen of Coins, Empress, Temperance, and these 2 cards are Ace of Wands and 2 of Swords. Okay. Alright, so first up we have Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. Oh look, the black cat. I just thought of that. The black cat. Lucky. Remember Lucky? Yeah, alright. Queen of Wands, Pisces. Courage, confident, independence, focus, zest for life, determination, and joy. So right now regarding Tul, he is determined to possibly become independent and be happy with his life as it is right now. Empress. Or maybe he's feeling that Tul is feeling that way. It's possibly that too. Empress. Abundance, nurturing, fertility, feminine, good parenting, development, accomplishment, growth, evolution, and action. Empress is about, this card says divine feminine. And Queen of Coins. And then Temperance card, which of course is Sagittarius is next. This kind of feels to me like it's shifting. Like, at first I was like, oh, okay, this is all the good stuff he's thinking about Tul until he gets to here. But now I'm thinking, no, it feels like even this Queen of Coins is also Sagittarius. So the only connection these cards really have to Tool as such is the Two of Swords down here. Queen of Coins is Sagittarius. Empress is Divine Feminine, which, you know, we link more with Gulf than the other. Temperance is Sagittarius. Ace of Wands is Fire, which is something Tool doesn't have, so also Sagittarius. And then we come to Two of Swords, the old favourite card that, you know, he has Tool on one side and Gulf on the other. I'm sorry if you've just joined, I am battling a cold, so you'll have to be patient with me about that. Excuse me a minute. So, yeah, like I said, at first I thought maybe could be talking about Tool, but this could be his thinking about Tool only in the sense of when it comes down to the decision. Two of Swords, frozen with indecision, unclear path, withholding, avoidance, stalemate, obstacles, and impasse. Either all these cards is something that he's coming to the conclusion that it's not possible with Tool, or all this is what he's thinking towards someone else, most likely Gulf, and then he comes to the standstill when he realizes, but I have to do something. I have to make a change if I want this future. So, yeah, anyway, we were at Empress here. So, as I said, Divine Feminine comes through with this card. Could also be because nurturing and good parenting. He could be really focused on that aspect at this point, just right now, this minute, because of the time he spent with Nini, baby Nini. It could be reminding him that he may not have the chance to have that himself if he sticks with Tool. Not as soon as he might hope, anyway. And then Temperance here. As I said, also Sagittarius. Balance, harmony, moderation, patience, being sensible, purpose, finding meaning. So, grounded, nurturing, caring, good parenting, purposeful, harmony. What else did I say? Purpose and finding meaning, yeah. So these three cards could be about when it comes to parenting or the possibility of becoming a parent. He is more in harmony with a Sagittarius, with Gulf, than with the other. And that's what he's possibly thinking right now, that, you know, if he really wants that in his life, if he's really attracted to that aspect in his life, if spending all that time with baby Nini is igniting that desire in his life, then he needs to make a decision, because deep down he knows he's not going to get anywhere in that way with Tool, perhaps. Or maybe he's going to ask Tool. You know, maybe Mew's going to approach Tool about it, and Tool's reaction or response to that is going to make the difference, possibly. Moving on to Ace of Wands. So this big juicy Ace of Wands. Gulf had this as well, Ace of Wands. And it is fire. So it does make me think, you know, he has a huge chance when it comes to this with a Sagittarius, with Gulf, because they are in harmony with what they want in regards to having kids. They sort of have the same sort of family life in mind. New project, inspiration, urge to create, willpower, desire, power, potential, beginnings, new opportunities and growth. This could also be talking about this new project that they're obviously doing with 2 other people. As I said in the other reading, I don't think that site is for a marital home or for a family home, because there are 2 other people also involved. It just gives the vibes of more of a business place than a family home to me, which it could very well be. It could be another place for a business to pop up. Maybe another clinic or something, who knows. Otherwise, the house is just so big. Like, yeah, anyway. But it could be that. It could be that maybe he makes a decision regarding that project. Maybe he decides to step away from it. To focus on something else. Sorry, guys. Alright, let's get some clarifiers for these cards. So, Aquarius, what can you tell us about this Queen of Coins here? 4 of Wands, divine coupling, homecoming, and commemoration. Alright, and the Empress. What about this Empress here? What can you tell us about this Empress card, please, Aquarius? Three of Coins. Okay, and what about Temperance? Can you give us a card for Temperance, please? Whoa. Got 3 cards for Temperance. Page of Wands. Page of Wands came up before. There it is. Death. Interesting. This is coming up again sort of in the area of clouds and thinking. Or, yeah, thinking. And the Chariot. Yep. Inspiration. Free spirit to transform, make a change, end something. And the Chariot, determined to take action with that. Interesting. And remember, Temperance is Gulf, or Sagittarius. What about this Ace of Wands here? Whoop. Almost bent that card. Ace of Wands is Ace of Wands. Look at that. Alright, and then 2 of Swords. What's this 2 of Swords about? The Hangman. So, seeing things from a different perspective. Alright, so let's go back here. So 4 of Wands. Let's pull that up first. 4 of Wands. Celebration, joy, harmony, marriage, home, community, homecoming. And also on this card it said divine coupling, homecoming, commemoration. So this could be me thinking about wanting to have that homecoming or that reunion with Gulf, because as we said, this is all like Gulf here until it gets to this card. But if we make it about Tull, it could be that Mew is determined to believe that he is meant to be with Tull, that they are divinely coupled, that they are destined to be together, that things are going to work out for them. Really doesn't agree with the other reading, though, if I say that, does it? It's, you know, clouds here. Unless he is deliberately, you know, trying to disillusion himself. Could be that, I suppose, with clouds. Because remember, up here, there is some sort of... Page of Swords was in reverse, wasn't it? Pretty sure. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? There is some sort of untruth up here. Some sort of deception, manipulation in his life regarding his love life. There is some kind of misbalance or disharmony as well. But he's going for it, possibly, you know. So that could make sense that, you know, Mew doesn't care what the universe and possibly other people like us Waanjai say his destiny is. He wants mutiny. So he's going for it anyway. But what Gulf's going to do next may change things, as we saw in the other readings. It's possible something Gulf says or does is possibly going to trigger Mew into action. Either way, whether he's, you know, really for this thing with Tull or not. On the other hand, as I said, it does feel like, because this is Sagittarius, and this is Divine Feminine, and this is Sagittarius, and this is Sagittarius, is fire, and then doesn't really get to air until Two of Swords down here. And this is coins, yes, but it's not Virgo. So, yeah, it really does feel like he doesn't really think about Tull until it comes to the decision he has to make. He's thinking more about a homecoming or a reunion with Gulf. Three of coins here. Collaborating with Gulf. Maybe he's thinking about how he can do this in a way that brings everybody in harmony, perhaps. And then Temperance here. Union, purposeful, wishful thinking, I think, was in here too. No, that's Star, isn't it? Just hoping for peace and harmony and balance. Alchemizing pain into power as well is also part of it. And then Page of Wands, being inspired to make a change. Maybe being triggered to make a change and to be determined to see it through. So yeah, it could be. And then of course we have Ace of Wands, which was also what followed in Gulf's reading as well, the Ace of Wands. That big juicy Ace of Wands. The opportunity to have a new passion for love and life, have a new start, passionate new beginnings, deep desire, igniting desire, an aphrodisiac, all that. And then finally we come to the Swords here, or possibly Libra, which is Tull. And he's kind of harshly reminded that he has a decision to make. The Hanged Man here, new perspective, enlightenment, and feeling liberated. Yeah. So what the Two of Swords of being unclear and avoiding a certain decision, a stalemate, obstacles, impasse, etc. Suddenly he has a different perspective on that, and he's more ready to make that decision. That's what it looks like. Let's move on to Three of Coins, because I haven't done all these cards yet. Make sure you get to see all of them. Three of Coins. Teamwork, collaboration, learning, implementation, building something. Now, building something could also refer to this building that they've just shown, because that would definitely be in collaboration. So it's not just the two of them. There's two other people involved. Could be that. Then, what are we up to? Page of Wands. Inspiration, ideas, discovery, limitless potential, free spirit, exploration, excitement, and freedom. And then death comes next. So making a change to that. So maybe before the change happens, he's feeling all free-spirited and excited and inspired and limitless potential of what he could do moving forward with all these business things to do with Tool. But then if we reflect on the other reading, possibly Gulf comes along with this, not so much ultimatum, but more just communication of, I'm done, I've had enough, I'm going to walk away. And that's going to trigger Mew into this change, death. Because death is also a Scorpio card. Endings, beginnings, change, transformation, transition, metamorphosis, and end of cycle. Also, as I said earlier in the other reading, Aquarius, the moon in Aquarius is happening right now, or will happen in a day or so, and Pluto and Jupiter are in conjunct with Aquarius. So, and Pluto is Scorpio. Pluto is linked to Scorpio, so this could be, as I said earlier, it's like this moon in Aquarius is going to shine a light on what's important to you, what you want to strive for, what you want to focus on, what you should be focused on, what's really important to you, what you should let go of, etc. Well, beginnings and endings. He's either got to let Gulf go entirely and let Gulf walk, or he's got to make the change necessary to keep Gulf in his life. And if we go back to the other reading, Mew looked like he was not going to let Gulf walk. So I would say it's the other. You know, he's going to do everything he can to keep Gulf in his life, rather. Ace of Wands. Big juicy Ace of Wands. New project, inspiration, urge to create, willpower, desire, power, potential, beginnings, new opportunities, and growth. Now, if you go back to the idea of this all just being about the new house, it's possible. It is possible. But it seems like such a coincidence that there is so much fire influence here, that there is so much Sagittarius in particular here, and then we also get Scorpio. It's still, even with these clarifying cards, the only real air energy or Virgo energy, so Libra or Virgo energy that I'm getting, is down here where the decision is. Everything else is not to do with that. What are we up to? The Hangman. The Hanged Man. Pause, surrender, letting go, new perspective, enlightenment, viewing things differently than before, deep insight, sacrifice, change and release. Change and release could be something. I will say though, the Hangman card was sort of like this. So, kind of makes me want to look at reversed as well, just sort of to find the balance between. Reversed is delays, standstill, resistance, stalling, indecision, fear of sacrifice, and lack of control. So all those sort of relate as well, I think, because this big decision at the bottom here is clearly whether he's going to end things with Tool or Golf. Two of Swords, Tool or Golf, Tool or Golf. But regarding, you know, the other readings, I think it's, you know, he's definitely going to lean more towards keeping Golf in his life than this current thing going on with Tool. Alright, and then let's get some Lenormand cards to shed a different light on it all. So 4 of Wands and Queen of Coins. What can you tell us about these cards, little deck? Queen of Coins and 4 of Wands. Is this about Mew having this new building project with Tool and possibly some friends of building a home for them to move into in the future? Or is this more about homecoming with Golf? Fish. Money. It's about money. Okay. Possibly financial stability. What about 3 of Pearls and Empress here? What are these cards about? Are these about him looking at his potential life with Tool in the future and having kids? Or is this more about him looking towards a potential life with someone else? We have the Public card here, Garden. Alright, and then what about Temperance and Page of Wands, Death and the Chariot here? Can you give me a card or two about these cards, please, little deck? What's this Temperance card? It's Sagittarius energy again. So is this possibly Golf he's considering here? Having a change? This big change would be regarding Golf. Oh, goodness. Alright, hang on, let me put those there. So, first card that showed up was Bouquet there. Now, there's a lot of cards down here, but there's about 3 upright and 4 not. I'll take the 3 that are upright here. Just put them there. And pick up the ones that are still upside down. And keep them that way, because I think that's too many cards. At least for now. I'll just put them aside there. Oh, hang on, you can't see that. Put them, you still can't see that. Ah, I chose the wrong place to put the cards. There's the cards there. See, these are the ones I picked up. This is the deck here. I'll put the deck up there. And then the cards that fell on the floor are there. The 3 that showed up, that were facing up, are here. So add them to this bouquet here. We have Clouds. Hang on. Bouquet, Clouds, Man, and Fox. Okay. So hang on. Let me see this the other way. Bouquet, Clouds, Man, and Fox. Well, as I said, Chariot, Death, and everything is related to like the change, possible change that was also in his other reading here. And what did we get? Clouds. So Clouds is certainly in alignment with that. The bouquet here could be meaning that the happy-go-lucky picture they're showing to the public, if we go back here, is actually unclear or masked an illusion about what's really happening with this man behind the scenes. Fox behind the scenes, in secret, on the sly, even. Okay, and these cards, how many are there? It's 5. No, I was thinking I could relate them to that, but no. No. Just put them on the top here and shuffle again. So, Ace of Wands, double Ace of Wands. So definitely, you know, Ace of Wands is definitely about having a new passion for love and life, igniting a desire or reigniting a desire, some kind of chemistry really coming to life, possibly even fertility. That sounds like possible chance of, you know, planning to have kids maybe, and go for it, etc. Or if it is about that house, it could just be, you know, go for it. Make this house, make this dream house with your friends kind of thing. Or if it's about golf, as we said, you know, masking a sad, uncertain situation with the happy bouquet, but having like secrets behind the scenes with this man, which this man I would say is probably tall, because as I've explained before, golf usually comes up as the woman. And if we're going back to here, talking about the divine feminine and Queen of Coins here, you know, there's Sagittarius. This is like saying that there's some confusion or there's an illusion that's being shown to the public regarding a man. And I don't usually like make it about genders or anything, but this really kind of is shouting out to me right now that this is feminine, this is masculine, so they can't be the same person. So it's almost like a confirmation that this is definitely not tall, if that makes sense, but this is. So what's this double Ace of Wands about? There's obviously a lot of passion, a lot of chemistry, a lot of desire happening behind the scenes here with Mew. But what is it about? Is it about moving forward with Tool, the way things are planned, or is it about possibly reigniting a flame with somebody else who he wants to have in his future and have kids with, etc. If we go back to the other reading, you know, the Oracle reading in particular, it was really pointing at that Mew said he wanted Golf in his future. He had dreams about having him in his future. He wanted to grow old with Golf. He still felt he was his soulmate. Golf felt he was his twin flame. It was all there in the Oracle reading. So what's happening here with the 2 Ace of Wands? Scythe. Okay, so if this is about Tool then, this could be about cutting all chances with going forward with Tool, perhaps. Or making a very sharp decision, come here, about what he's doing right now regarding Tool. And what about 2 of Swords and the Hanged Man? Little deck, what can you tell me about these cards? So this card is like he's got Golf on one side and Tool on the other, and he's really not making a decision, but this time we have the Hanged Man in pairing with it, which means that he is ready to make that decision. So what's this decision all about? Is it he's finally going to walk away from this situationship he's in with this man here, with Tool? He's going to walk away from it. He's going to realign his life. Is that a flip? No. He's possibly going to return to his true love, his divine feminine, the one he's meant to be with, the one who has dreams the same as him of a family life, having kids of their own, etc. We have Incense Burner. Incense burner could be referring to the hermit thing of going within and cleaning your act up, getting yourself together. I might get another card though. So that's the incense burner, but what's that followed by? After he does clear his mind or clear the air about what he truly, deeply wants, then what can you tell us, little deck? Or is that asking too much? After this decision that he chooses to possibly clear his life of this situation with Tool, what will be the most likely outcome, I suppose? What will be the most likely outcome? Whoa. 4 cards here. Should I read them though? Well, I asked, didn't I? I specifically asked that question, so I suppose I should see what's come up. So we have stork, mice, heart, ring. So he's clearing his life and moving on from basically, well, mice, heart, and ring. It's like saying there's no love there anymore. There's no desire. There's no desire to get married anymore. There's no desire to pursue this relationship anymore. So he's going to clear his life, his mind, possibly his heart even, and move on. Or if you want to look at it in a different way, it could be he's clearing his mind of what he feels he left behind or lost, and possibly having a new perspective. If you put the hangman in there, having a new perspective of maybe what I had back then is not lost and I can have it again, in regards to, of course, Gulf in that case, which would agree with the other readings. Is there anything else you can add to this fish over here to give us a better idea? Like, what's this money situation with the 4 of Wands and the Queen of Coins over here? Is it about a home? Is it about being financially secure before making a drastic decision? See the way that dropped? I feel that that's more to go with the public card here. But alright, let's see. Snake. If I put that connected with those two like that. Something false. Something that's in the public eye. Being false. Or lies. Alright. What about the scythe down here? Can you tell me more about this scythe? Can you add more to this Ace of Wands and the scythe? So is it that he doesn't have that passion for love and life anymore in regards to Tool, perhaps? Is that what this scythe is about? Or he's making a very strong decision based on this feeling for someone else, maybe? What's this scythe here for, please, little deck? And I'll finish there. I just feel like that card on its own is... What was that? Was that a card? What just fell on me then? Hang on. To do this anyway. wasn't that, was it? No, that was... It's another one of those phantom things, guys. I swear something fell on me then. Something fell on my knee. I felt it, but I have nothing to show for it. So it wasn't a card anyway, obviously. Anyway, I'll probably find out later what it was. Did the charm fall off? That's what it was. That's what it was. The soccer ball fell off again. I wonder if that means anything. I was asking about the scythe, wasn't I? Making a strong decision. The last thing I said was possibly making a strong decision based on this newfound passion. That was what I said last, wasn't it? Here we got letter as well here. Scythe and letter. Ending a contract. Ending an agreement. Ending an engagement. Ending communication. Still could be either though. Well, maybe that's why the soccer ball dropped, to tell me this is regarding golf. Ending communication. Well, no. I said based on the passion he was going to make this decision, didn't I? So no, this is more like he's going to end the contract or the engagement or the whatever it is that is upsetting his relationship with golf, because he wants to have a new start and work again, possibly be with him again. So he's going to make this decision to clear his life and heart of whatever this deception is that's in the public eye, and move on, possibly with golf. But this reading doesn't seem to go there. It's like this is all before that, if that makes sense. And I know this was meant to be about how Mew feels about Tool, but I mean, if you really force it to be about Tool up here, then this snake turning up like this is still not good news for them. It's like, that's like saying everything they're showing the public is false. Like they're hiding behind a mask, but they're actually quite confused behind the scenes about each other. And based on that, they may end things. Does that make sense? We're here. Hi guys. Alright, yeah, I can't really add any more to that. That's already cards all over the table, so what I'll do is I'll just screenshot that and then pack it up. Oh well, Incense Verna just decided to show up again, so definitely Mew needs to cleanse something out of his life, clear the air about something, and that's the decision that he is going to make. How he does it though, don't know. Will it be similar to what he just did with his IG? I don't know. I think, you know, it's all talk. It's been all talk up to now regarding him and Gulf, regarding him and Tool. He really needs to have more action to his words moving forward. And I think that's what Gulf is going to be looking for if it's anything to do with that. Then Gulf is going to want to see action. Not promises that can be broken. He wants to see action. Alright, let's go to the other half. So how is Tulpacorn currently feeling towards mewsuppasit? Can he sense that there is a change in feelings going on? That whatever the truth is behind everything, that Mew is definitely soul-searching and, you know, reconsidering from a new perspective his future life? We have the Full, Knight of Cups, and Summer Solstice. One of special cards. Alright. First of all, the Fool. The Fool is a new start. This could be with or without Tool, I think. Or, if this is more from Tool's perspective, this could be Tool thinking he's going to have a new start. New beginnings, possibilities, innocence, spontaneous, optimism, trust in life, blind faith, adventure, opportunity, and pleasure. Well, the Fool is linked to Aquarius, so it could be that he knows. He knows that Mew is looking for a new start, a new beginning. Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups, of course. We had it. Here. Happens to be in this area. Knight of Cups. Which, as I said, has Scorpio and Libra on it. Creativity, romantic charm, imagination, beauty, knight in shining armor, following the heart, Prince Charming, and proposals. This could be Tool realizing that Mew wants a new beginning and wants to follow his heart. Could be that. If it's more positive, it could be Tool thinks that they're getting off to a great start and they have so much potential and opportunity ahead of them with their creativity and imagination. Yeah, I can't really say just yet. Anyway, moving on, the Summer Solstice. Summer Solstice. Pinnacle of success. Timing a few weeks. Let go of control. Celebrate life. Have fun and summer. Well, it's not summer there. And it's not summer here either. A few weeks, let go of control, celebrate life, and have fun. Let go of control, this could be like, if Mew does make the decision to walk away from Tool, he'll just let it happen and focus on having a new start himself, possibly. Alright, can I get at least 2 more cards, please, into it, of how Tulpacorn is currently feeling towards mewsuppasit? Yeah, 1 more. Whoops. Oh, are you kidding? That's been in there the whole time. Anyway, that was just the title card, guys. Alright, we have 8 of coins and 5 of wands. 8 of coins, working on something, dedication to craft, sticking to it, mastery, commitment. And 5 of wands, personality clashes, competition, arguing, chaos, misunderstandings, opposition, temper, and lost opportunity. Funny, it all ends with that card. If it was all looking good for him regarding Mew, it certainly doesn't look good when it ends with that. Excuse me a minute, guys. Goodness, so congested. Alright. I haven't got summer solstice, but I told you what that is anyway. Hang on, let's move these around the right way. Alright, and then 8 of coins. Well, 8 of coins. 8 of coins persistently comes up in regards to Tool. And the thing I said last time when it came up is that it really does look like this man in this card here could be Tool, and he's away from the world, he's isolated, and he's working on making his own money. It could also be looked at as having like selfish intentions. Where'd that come from? So it could be that too. Or it could just be Tool wants to keep at it. He wants to make this relationship work. Despite all the personality clashing, competition, arguing, chaos, misunderstandings, temper, stress and tension, etc. there is between him and Mew. Or there is involved, just in general. Let's go 5 of wands, so you can see what I'm talking about. Five of wands. Competition, rivalry, conflict, disagreements, strife, and tension. So yeah. It's a fire card, so it could also be like Tool might be looking at if you go to the competition. It could be he's focusing on that aspect of it. Where like he might be working on trying to eliminate the competition. And sort of having, if you go back to the full like blind faith that he can eliminate the competition. He might still think he has a chance fighting destiny. Funny because I'm seeing the Knight of Cups in reverse right now and it says unrequited lover. It just kind of makes me think of that. Anyway, alright, hang on, not this one. Let's clarify with the cards we usually use for Tool, which is the Light Seers deck. Okay, Lightseers, so please tell us more about this Fool card, please, for how Tulpacorn is currently feeling towards mewsuppasit. Tell us more about this Fool card, please. Three of Cups. Oh goodness, there's 4 cards here. Three of Cups, King of Wands, the Moon, and 6 of Wands. Wow. So yeah, like I said, might have blind faith that he can beat the competition, because this is like 3 of Cups. That's third party energy for a start. And then King of Wands is Sagittarius, so like Gulf. Actually, I think King of Wands is also Scorpio, but we'll check that in a minute. And then the Moon. Secretly, you know, still having feelings. Mew still secretly having feelings for this King of Wands, perhaps. He thinks he can be victorious about eliminating this competition. Possibly. Or if we put it in another way, 3 of Cups working with Mew and possibly these other 2 people. King of Wands. No, you know what? I'm not going to say anymore. I'm going to look at the cards first, because I don't want to make a mistake. But let's let's look at the cards first, actually. All right. So first of all, 3 of Cups. Celebration, friendship, collaboration, creativity, community, and happiness. So yeah, see, he's believing in that. He's believing in the collaboration, in the friendship, believing that that will conquer all, kind of, if we jump to the 6 of Wands here. Then what about the King of Wands? I was right. King of Wands is Scorpio and Sagittarius here. So as you can see, King of Wands would be Gulf, in other words. But it also can mean natural leader, visionary, entrepreneur, big picture, overcoming challenges, mature and career focused. And it also is related to the Sun. So, it could be that Tool thinks he can be victorious over Destiny, which would be Gulf reuniting with Mew, because Mew still has strong feelings for Gulf in secret. Something like that. The Moon. Let's get the Moon up. The Moon, the Moon, the Moon. And funnily enough, the last time I saw the Moon too, the Moon is Pisces, but it also has, if you notice, there's 2 dogs and a scorpion here. Scorpion as in Scorpio. This could be Gulf, this could be the 2 dogs. And you know, the 2 dogs, one of them is fully facing the Moon, while the other is sort of half, like they're side on. I just feel like the side on dog could be looking back as well as looking forward, whereas the other one is only looking forward. So that's like a metaphor that perhaps secretly Mew is looking back because he hasn't let go. Maybe he's convinced Tool that he let go, but he hasn't. Or maybe it's even to say unfinished business with a scorpion, with Scorpio, with Gulf. Maybe Tool is that convinced, you know, blind faith, that everything between Mew and Gulf was an illusion, or, you know, was, what do you say, imaginary, not real, just a ship. Maybe he's convinced himself of that, and he thinks because of that that he will be victorious in the end because he is the real deal, possibly. Let's get the Six of Wands up. Public recognition, victory, progress, self-confidence. So see, he could be thinking he'll be victorious because he's got the public exposure on his side. Everybody right now in the world is like, he is Mew's fiancé. So what chance does someone hiding in the shadows have, you know? It could be like that. Or it could be, if you go the other way, it could be that he is totally aware of Mew's change of heart. He knows what's coming. He knows that Mew is going to try to reunite with this King of Wands in secret, and that they will be victorious when they come out because they have a lot of support, and not to mention the universe supports them, and they are destined to be together. It could be that too. What about this Knight of Cups? Please give me, whoops, some cards for Knight of Cups. So that's a lot of cards again, but anyway, we got Five of Pentacles, left behind, left in the cold, the Star, and Two of Wands. So Knight of Cups, if we go back to how I said if I go back to how I said just then, of how he may actually know, he may have the intuition that things are changing, that Mew is going to pick Gulf, then this Knight of Cups would mean that he did pick Gulf, and that he's feeling left behind, that Aquarius, or Mew, is leaving him behind, and their plans for the future, Two of Wands, may not happen. Or no, this would be Mew planning to do things, possibly without him though. He's leaving him behind. All right, what about this winter solstice? Can you give us anything for this? Sorry, not winter, summer solstice. Can you give us anything for this summer solstice card, Lightseers? I said in a few weeks. Let go of control, celebrate life, have fun, summer. Is this about Tool finding his feet after a possible breakup with Mew? After a change of plan? What's this summer solstice about, please? We have Temperance. Temperance. Same as... Was it here or was it a different reading? Am I thinking the Gulf's reading was Temperance? Either way, we have had Temperance today. Excuse me. Oh, I know what it was. It was Mew's reading to Tool, wasn't it? He had Temperance because we had so much Sagittarius influence in the reading, and Temperance was one of them. Right, so in other words, Mew has plans with a Sagittarius. Mew has plans with a reunion, with reuniting, with being in harmony with a Sagittarius, right? All right, and then what about Eight of Coins here? Tell us more about this Eight of Coins, please, Lightseers. Tell us more about this Eight of Coins, please, Lightseers. Whoa, careful. I only saw one card then that fell, and that was Six of Pentacles. These ones that fell, there's too many. I'm not doing them. So Six of Pentacles. We had Six of Pentacles. Was it up there? No, again, it was in a different reading. But yeah, Six of Pentacles. There was something about... It was Gulf's reading, wasn't it? It was Gulf's reading. We had Six of Pentacles about wanting to have an equal give and take. And with that being here too, perhaps Tool wants the same. He wants to be able to agree to disagree when it all comes to it. What about this Five of Wands? Tell me more about this Five of Wands, Lightseers. Well, maybe the Eight of Coins and Six of Pentacles is about splitting things up, you know, like I've said before. If they do publicly separate, then, you know, splitting assets. Queen of Cups with the Five of Wands. So Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is Pisces. So this is like a confirmation that, yes, the arguing is happening between him and Mew, because it could be Mew's Pisces side that is not agreeing with Tool, because Tool's all about business, all about money. Mew's more romantic and, you know, dreaming to have a family, etc. That side of him doesn't agree with Tool, possibly. Only his logical side agrees with Tool, which makes them great to be business partners. Makes awesome pair to be business partners and to be successful with all that, but doesn't make them great lovers. It's incompatible in that sense. Alright. So last thing we looked up was this. So let's go back here so you see all the cards. Five of Coins. So left out in the cold. Tool is feeling left out in the cold. Financial loss, lack of mindset, loss, isolation, worry, need, poverty, and insecurity. Could even be that he's feeling insecure about future plans with Mew because he knows that secretly Mew still has feelings for Gulf. It could be like that. Moving on to the Star. I feel more congested in this second read. That could mean something, you know. They've got more clouds in their reading. Gulf is clear on what he wants, and I have to say today, the way I'm feeling, I was feeling the clearest and less congested. I even said it to you. I remember saying while I was reading for Gulf, I might not be congested by the end of this reading because I was feeling that clearing up feeling when I was reading for Gulf, but now it's all come back tenfold with these ones. Goodness. Alright. Sorry guys. Right, so the Star. Hope, calm, faith, purpose, renewal, spirituality, fortune, good omen, and rejuvenation. And this is he's feeling left out in the cold. More than anything, the Star is an Aquarius card, which is why I straight away said he's feeling left out in the cold because Mew is leaving him behind. But it could also be, you know, he's lost hope. Or he's lost the idea of a good omen, perhaps, you know, almost bad omen. There's so many bad omens surrounding them. Alright, and then Two of Wands. Planning, progress, making decisions, discovery, leaving home, and travel plans. And it is a fire card. So as I said, this seems, especially because the next card is Temperance as well, this seems like Mew is shifting. Mew is shifting towards Gulf. And I think Tool knows it. I don't think Tull is fighting it. When I said that at the beginning, I only said that because it's a possibility, but I don't think he's fighting it. I think Tull knows. Deep down he knows what's meant to be, what's happening, how Mew is feeling, and that, you know, he just can't. He hasn't got a chance fighting destiny. So this one down here, 8 of Coins and 6 of Pentacles, could be him working on things constantly in the background to try and find the right time, the right situation, and the right way to end things. It could be like that. Even though I know it's contradictory to what they're feeding the media with all the interviews and everything. But celebrities are like that. You know, they'll all, oh yeah, we're fine, or oh yes, we're good, you know, we're still together. And then suddenly, all of a sudden, you hear there's a breakup. Or there's a confirmed breakup. That, you know, rumors that these 2 people broke up has turned out to be true, blah, you know, it's like that. So, yeah, like, with anything, like, you can't really trust 100% what you're hearing on the social media. With that being said, you can't trust 100% what I'm saying either. You know, you need to make up your own mind about, you know, what these cards mean to you, etc. But what I'm getting here is definitely based on the other reading as well. Mew is not going to let Gulf just walk out of his life. Maybe Tull hoped that it would go down that way, but Mew's not going to have it. Mew knows that Gulf is in his life for an important reason, a reason that he can't just let him walk out. Soulmate, twin flame, either way, a special bond, that he can't just let this person walk out of his life. So he will do whatever it takes to prevent that in the end. And that could be as drastic as saying goodbye to Tull. And Tull knows this. I think he's almost he's kind of ready. He's ready to be left behind. He's ready to be left behind and to sort of start again. That's what I get overall with all the readings I've done in the last possibly two or 3 months. That Tull is somewhat prepared for the unfortunate outcome. And he's ready just to get back up on his 2 feet and go again. Hang on, have I? I haven't, have I? Temperance, pull Temperance up again. Balance, harmony, moderation, patience, being sensible, purpose, finding meaning. Perhaps this is even saying that Tull is finding it hard to find purpose and meaning in their plans anymore, because while they may make a lot of plans, it just doesn't seem to fulfill them or fulfill Mew, more or less. So, you know, he's could be feeling at a loss in that regard. 6 of Pentacles. Giving, receiving, sharing wealth, generosity, and charity. Like I said, it could be, you know, working out the right way, the right time to end things. Could also be about, as I said, splitting assets. They've got businesses together now, so they have to consider that. How they can be fair to all the people they're possibly in collaboration with, as well as, you know, how they can both get out of life what they want moving forward. In this case, you know, pursuing their true love for Mew and Tull, because I'm pretty sure for Tull there's someone as well. If he hasn't met them yet, there is someone, but it's possible he's already met them. And then 5 of Wands with Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. So this is the one I was saying is
by saying it was Pisces. Queen of Cups. Well, it's not. And I think I made this same mistake last time, didn't I? It's not Pisces, it's Gemini. It's Gemini. Gemini and Cancer? Is it? I think so. Yeah, Gemini and Cancer. So maybe this is even about someone else. Maybe this is, like I just mentioned, someone else on Tool's side. Possibly a Gemini that maybe they didn't totally agree or weren't feeling compatible back in the past, but maybe that will be revisited. And he's possibly working on that in the background as well. Maybe. Anyway, Queen of Cups, compassion, comfort, calm, nurturing, healing, emotionally stable, intuitive and caring. Could even be intuitive, as I said up here. He's intuitive of Mew wanting a new start with someone. And down here he could also be intuitive of how they're having all this personality clashing and arguments for a reason. He could be starting to become more aware of the incompatibility between them, perhaps. Alright, and then little deck. What can you add to this spread? Oh. Alright, well we got 3 cards and I have all these cards, so I think I'll take them. So Sun, Child, Bird. Sun, Child, Bird. Yeah. So Sun, clarity, or Mew himself, the Sun, wants to have a new start. Wants to have a new start, possibly even wants children. And wants to talk to someone about that. Or two birds on the birds card could mean couple as well. It could mean, you know, could be referring to them talking about it, or could be referring to him knowing that Mew's going to talk to Gulf about it. Alright, and then 5 of Pentacles and the Star and 2 of Wands, wasn't it? Along with the Knight of Cups. So Knight of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, the Star and 2 of Wands. His plans of a love life with Mew, he knows he's going to be left behind. Because that's destiny. Cross. Destiny is that he will be left behind. Or burden. The burden of them going ahead with this planned love life is that they will be at a loss. They will suffer possibly financial loss since it's coins, but also possibly other loss. But I get more this is destiny. This is saying, this is really like pointing out to Tool that you know this is not the way it's meant to be. You know Mew is divinely coupled with someone else. You know that it is destined for you to be left behind. And then Winter Solstice with the Temperance card here. Sorry, I'm out of the picture there. Sorry guys, I'm getting a bit lazy now as time goes on. So what's this what's this Summer Solstice and the Temperance about? Please, little deck. Is this Temperance card indeed Gulf? Is this Mew? Is this Tool knowing that Mew has plans to go towards Gulf, to pursue Gulf? Book and Snake here. So lies and deception. And I also have, I saw a scythe just before. Sort of flipped and I saw it, so in a couple of weeks, summer solstice. What let go of control, celebrate life, have fun. So end the lies and deception. Look, scythe with book and snake here. End the lies and deception. End the lies and deception regarding temperance, or if this is regarding Sagittarius, then it could be end the lies and deception so that you can be with Gulf, or if it's the other way, temperance was about harmony, etc. It could be that their compatibility of being a couple that can get married was all lies and deception, and they're going to end that by possibly breaking up. I'm not sure about in a few weeks though. I don't know if it would be that soon, but plans possibly. Or this was, no, Two of Wands came out for that one, didn't it? So no, in a few weeks maybe we'll hear something that will change the storyline again. Maybe. What about this Eight of Coins and Six of Pentacles? Wait, I just saw that card. Rider. In other words, news. So what I was saying about maybe Tool is behind the scenes working on the best way and the best time and the best approach to break the news, to end things. And remember, I've said before, I know I haven't shown it to you, my grand tableau, but I do have proof that I did one. I just haven't got it out yet. There's so much involved with reviewing a grand tableau. I think I can't do it. I can't do it on the side. If I'm going to do a grand tableau in the future, I will definitely do it live. So you have at least some form of proof, you know, that I did it that day and that you were watching me pull these cards, etc. Because I just never get around to it the other way. So I think next time I'll make it a live one. But yeah, the grand tableau that I am working on in the background that I have continuously kept referring to, Tool is the messenger. Tool is the messenger, the rider. Tool is the one who will say something or will actually spill the news in the end. So this also agrees with that. And then Five of Wands with Queen of Cups here. Is this about Tool really giving into his intuition that he is not as compatible with Mew as maybe he once thought? Or maybe it's about someone else altogether. That's too many cards. Oh. Well, I tried to refuse the deck and the deck said, no, you're going to see these cards because they came up like that. So we have Queen. Sorry, not Queen. Woman, Tree. That's family member, female family member. That you're comfortable with in secret, in clouds, ship, star, key. Goodness, that's so many cards. Could even be, dare I say, no. Oh, well, I suppose Tree could be strong bond. maybe if we think about Gemini, the Queen of Cups being Gemini for a second, and we go to that Gemini, then this woman could possibly be tall in that dynamic, and perhaps he's thinking back to that, thinking, you know, maybe we had more in common than we thought. We have such a strong bond. I still feel it. I'm very comfortable with this person. And in secret, I do miss them. And I'm feeling unsure about where I'm headed right now, you know, regarding my dreams and everything. So maybe I need to try again with this person. Something like that. Otherwise, like, the woman in the tree straight away makes me think the family member that's been pushing all this to happen. Possibly with the moon, they're being exposed. The woman being exposed and being pushed out of her comfort zone. The clouds clearing on just where life is headed for Tull, and then, you know, continuing to chase his dreams. Obviously ones that do not include Mew. How else to put that? I suppose the other possibility is that if Tull is not as, let me just say, gay as we think, you know, if he is interested in any, perhaps this is a woman that he's destined to meet, that will be the right match for him. And, you know, it may not be someone in particular just yet. It could be he's, you know, chasing true love. His chance of true love with someone out there, he may start pursuing again after things are cleared up. I mean, the Five of Wands here, the competition, the arguing, the chaos, the misunderstandings, opposition. This could be if, let's say, Tull suddenly goes against whoever this person is that's in charge of everything. I said this in the other reading too, where just suddenly Tull stops cooperating and suddenly is in opposition with this person, this woman, possibly family member. Then, you know, pushing himself out of his comfort zone, exposing everything for what it is, coming out with, you know, secret feelings, clearing the air, and then going on with his journey, chasing his dreams, whatever that may encounter. Or entail, I should say. Alright. Bit confusing there at the end, but I think we got mostly what it was all about. Let me just try to capture all this if possible. Yeah, so I'm not gonna. No, that's alright. Okay, I think I've got everything. Print screen. Okay, pack these up and then we will do the oracle reading. Now, the oracle reading for MewGulf turned out to be quite different I mean, it still agreed with it, but it was quite different to the tarot reading. So I wonder if it will turn out the same for these two. Will the oracle reading be in agreement 100%, or will it also show a sort of different side to the situation? We'll find out. Look out. Almost left a card out. I'll pack that up later. Okay. Right, so we start with cosmic for these two, don't we? Oi. Excuse me. Alright, so cosmic. How does mewsuppasit currently feel towards Tulpacorn? 3 or more cards. How does mewsuppasit currently feel towards Tulpacorn? Since the nature of the other readings, I'll say this. How does mewsuppasit currently feel towards Tulpacorn, if at all, right now? Because he seems to be thinking about somebody else a lot. So, is he even thinking about Tul right now? Oh. Okay, well, I think you all can see that pretty clearly. Liar, be careful of someone sneaky. Gambling, problems with addiction or gambling, bad finances. Oh my goodness. And earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I can't really spell it out any clearer for you there, guys. That's, whew, okay. That's, yeah, that's really... That's obviously me waking up to the way things are, right? Would it be too much to ask for 2 more cards, Cosmic? Because I don't want to break the pattern. We've had 5 cards or more for everything this reading so far. So if I could get 2 more cards, please. 2 more cards of why Mew is feeling this way towards Tul, someone else. Well, yeah, that's pretty obvious, isn't it? I mean, I said it at the beginning. It seems like Mew has his mind on somebody else a lot more than Tul right now. since I only got one card there, maybe I should just be happy with 4 cards. Am I right, Cosmic? If you don't give me another card right now, I'm gonna be happy with 4. So, do you have anything else to say about how mewsuppasit is currently feeling about Tulpacorn, Cosmic? One more try. No. Okay. That was 2, I know. I was like, come on, come on. Nah. Alright. I think 4 will be it then. I mean, as I said, that's pretty straightforward right there. That is pretty straightforward right there. Can't sugarcoat that. Alright. So, Shady, what can you add to these cards about how mewsuppasit is currently feeling towards Tulpacorn? So the Liar card, apathy, ignite your passion, for it's the antidote to indifference. Indifference, disinterest, detachment. So perhaps Mew has lost his trust in the situation with him and Tul. So he's really not caring anymore. I mean, that would really agree with the looks we've been seeing. Hang on, let me pull that card up for you. You can see clearly these ones, right? So I'll just get Shady for you. And long and behold, this card in particular has sunflowers on it. So, yeah, obviously, just even the words, ignite your passion, for it's the antidote to indifference. So at the moment towards Tul, be careful of someone sneaky. He's feeling Tul hasn't been honest with him. So he's feeling indifference, disinterest, and detachment from Tul. And possibly he's reigniting his passion for a sunflower, with apathy having sunflower in it there. He's possibly reigniting his passion for someone else, for golf, in the meantime. And what about this gambling card? Shady. Rejection. Hang on, let me just pull that up first. Rejection. Through the sting of being left out, we discover our own inner worth. Denial, dismissal, exclusion. Problems with addiction or gambling, bad finances. Denial, dismissal, exclusion. Perhaps Mew was in denial that he couldn't work out with Tul because he was kind of addicted to the idea of, you know, all the proposition, all the business propositions, all the potential for being rich with money, etc. Maybe that had him forcing himself into denial and dismissing all the red flags and the discomforts he was secretly feeling. Earth sign. Earth sign is, I can't, that's Tul, Virgo. So what do I... No. Why is Mew not trusting Tul and suddenly realizing that, you know, it's been all about money? What has made him feel that way towards Tul, the Virgo? Shame. Embrace your flaws, they are a part of your unique story. Humiliation, disgrace, and embarrassment. Okay. Hang on. This someone else. Is this someone else someone... Is this Gulf for Mew? Or does Tool also have someone else? Shady. Tell us more about this card, someone else. What's this card talking about? Has Mew found out there's somebody else? Ego. That somebody else could be their ego. Beyond the facade of ego, or facade, beyond the facade of ego lies the depth of true character, arrogance, pride, vanity. Perhaps this is saying that both their egos are getting in the way of their compatibility. Like pride and vanity is stopping Tool from making more effort to possibly look closer. I wouldn't say that though, because I mean, yeah, right now Tool's the one trying to cling on, isn't he? So that doesn't make sense. No, it's more if you look back in time where Mew was saying that the other was not ready to come out in public, maybe it was more about that. Like their pride and vanity is what made the whole problem in the first place with how they came out to the public. Or if there really was no them to begin with, we go back to that belief, then someone else's arrogance, pride and vanity to push them to continue this charade is possibly sabotaging their friendship. Someone in the middle. Someone is trying to sabotage this. So yeah, it could be the person who was in charge, wanted them to work out as a couple and everything for their financial benefit, but in the end all they did is actually tear them apart. What they already had, their friendship, was and is still decaying in the background because the pressure to be more than they are, the pressure to force feelings that are not there, and then to have to justify and explain it all to the media as well. Alright, and then lastly, Blocky. What can you add to this spread? So what about the Liar and the Apathy card? So Mew is not trusting Tool as much as he used to, perhaps. And he's starting to just feel not bothered. He's detaching himself. He's not really interested anymore. I mean, we've seen a few videos where Tool has tried to look closer, like tried to feed him, for example, and Mew ignores him. So yeah, what's this Liar and Apathy card about, please, Blocky? That landed here. Well, that card is just Virgo, isn't it? So it doesn't really matter. Okay, what have we got? Getting hurt. Let me pull that up. Oops. getting hurt. All love comes with a risk of losing it. Don't be afraid to floss. Take a chance. So whatever was between them, whether that be actual love or just friendship, it's, as I said, decaying. And they've hurt each other through all this, whatever it is. And it seems like Mew is possibly more hurt. Getting hurt. Alright, and then this gambling card and the rejection card, Blocky, what can you tell me about these? So, obviously Mew is addicted or really into the idea of being rich and having a luxury life with Tul for a while there, but then, you know, he was in denial of that being all he was really attached to. And now maybe he's starting to see that. What are these cards about, please, Blocky? Gambling and rejection. Three cards came out. Past trauma, love sucks, and procrastinate. Well, that's interesting. Let me pull those up. Past trauma. You need to take the time for yourself and heal your past trauma before moving on. Well, there you have it. He has to go deep within, soul search, and really figure himself out, all these hidden feelings he may still have, before he can move on with anyone or anything. If I'm honest, it also looks like this past trauma could actually be talking about his burnout, because that's where it all started as well. And then let's move on to love sucks. You have stopped believing in love. Let yourself heal so you can be open again. So this could be he now knows, he's heard about it, but he now knows that he was a victim, or that he was taken for a ride sort of back then when he had his burnout. He thought he had found someone who could really, you know, heal along with him and fill in that absence he was feeling, but now he kind of knows that no, that wasn't the case at all. He's sort of, if you go back to the other reading with Gulf, he's sort of stopped believing that he has a chance for real love now. And the more he procrastinates, as the next card is, the more he feels that. Procrastinate. Don't make someone wait around too long. They may give up on you. Well, this could be pointing exactly to what we said. Like Gulf is about to try and walk out of his life. That could be that. Alright, and then what about this Virgo card, Blocky? So he's feeling shame. Is this shame for being with Tul in the first place? Or is this shame for realizing that Tul has someone else on the side as well? For realizing that he's been played by Tul and possibly someone else? What's the shame card linked to the Virgo card here for, Blocky? Confusion. Confusion. So the shame is possibly because he doesn't know how he truly feels yet. Could even be he looks back, as I said, with his burnout. He looks back and he thinks how easily he was emotionally taken advantage of. Could be that too. Confusion. You don't know what you want, so you need clarity before you get involved. So maybe this call for 2 months postponement of the wedding because he's not feeling the same anymore. He needs to revisit those feelings and himself. He needs to realign with himself and try and figure out exactly what he wants. All right, and then this card's somebody else, an ego. So what's this about? Is this about a third party actually interfering? Is this about Tool having someone on the side? Is this about Mew thinking about someone else that he possibly hasn't been able to move on from? Is this about interference from a third party, as in like the fans and the shippers? Or is this someone like a hierarchy who's puppeteering them in a way? What's this somebody else card, an ego card about, please, Blocky? Hiding feelings. Yeah. Ego, pride, and vanity is having you hide feelings. See there? Hiding feelings. You need to express how you feel to the one you love to see how they feel in return. So yeah, this could be, like I said, maybe Tool has someone on the side who he hasn't really properly addressed hidden feelings with. Or maybe this somebody on the side is, of course, Gulf, and Mew hasn't properly addressed his feelings with Gulf. Either way, there's hidden feelings there. Or it could just be, you know, both of them have hidden feelings about each other, about the incompatibility of them that they've been hiding because they want it to work out for the financial gain. But really, they know emotionally they're not a good match. They're incompatible. Or they feel incompatible. All right. Okay, so let me screenshot that just in case. And then I'll pack these cards up and we will see how Tool is feeling with the Oracle cards. Okay. I'm getting right to the point with these cards today, aren't they? I'll be done soon. Alright, so we have, first card we got was the air sign, which is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Well, Aquarius is on there, just like Virgo was on the Earth card. This could be talking about Mew in particular, alright? So how else is Tulpacorn feeling towards mewsuppasit right now, Cosmic? With at least 3 more cards or more, please tell me, how is Tulpacorn feeling towards mewsuppasit right now? Mew is losing his trust in Tool and is starting to feel ashamed, etc. Oh, distance. Okay. anymore. So Tu is starting to feel distance. Maybe Tu is starting to feel that Mew is pulling away. Oh my goodness. These the cards don't like, guys. One more. Alright then. Okay. Wow. That is some spread right there. What did I say about how the oracle reading is like sheds such a different light on everything? Okay. So here we have Aquarius, distance, divorce, health. Tu is feeling the distance with Mew. You and your partner may be physically or emotionally distant, this card says. And then we have divorce, experiencing a breakup. And then health. Health issues could arise. So, like I said in the tarot reading, kind of, Tu's not dumb. He can feel it. He can feel the distance between them. He can feel that Mew is slowly slipping away, that Mew is planning to pursue someone else or something else, and he's really not interested. He can feel that apathy from Mew. He's really not interested in him in the same way anymore, even as friends, I think. This health card after divorce, maybe this is just, with the picture like that, maybe this is just like he'll be brokenhearted. Like with this, he'll be brokenhearted after the separation, after the breakup. But then maybe this is brokenhearted, but then it's mended, perhaps. Maybe it's like that. Alright, and then Shady, what can you now add to this? So the Aquarius card, the card we got with Aquarius is illusion. I can't make this up, guys. Illusion. Illusion. Seek reality, even if it's raw and challenging. Mirage, fantasy, deception. And this is regarding Aquarius. So like I said, Tu is beginning to see it, or he has seen it all along, but he's now starting to accept it. He's starting to stop being in denial about it and realizing that it's not going to work with them. It's all been an illusion up to now of how happy they could be together. Yeah, they may have been able to get, money and business out of it all, but emotionally, they're not healthy. And what about this distance card? Tell us more about this distance card, Shady. Pride. True worth is measured by character, not accolades. Arrogance, vanity, ego. There's the vanity and ego again. So, yeah. This could be even, maybe Tu is feeling shame and embarrassment and humiliation because of the distance, the obvious distance there is between them. Maybe he just can't deny it anymore. Now that Mew is really not interested and not even letting him appear to be close. It's like it's inevitable. It's over. Alright, and what about this divorce card? Experiencing a breakup. What's this divorce card about? Shady? Are they going to divorce, or they already are? Or not divorce, but breakup. Ego. Well, we just had vanity and ego there. Now we have ego here. So I suppose this means that they're both too proud to admit it. It's their ego that is preventing them from telling the truth about their situation. Or it could be the person's ego. If we go back to the idea that there's somebody else in charge of it all, it could be somebody else's ego is preventing them from coming out with the truth about this. And what about this health card then? Is this talking about the health of their relationship or actual health? Shady. Is Tool not well, or is this more about he will heal after the breakup? Numbness. Numbness. To feel pain is to be alive and human. Insensitivity, disconnection, and what's that? Indifference. Yeah. So, like I said, he may be brokenhearted after the breakup is announced, or the truth comes out, but he'll also be able to find his feet again. He'll be able to heal. He'll have indifference to the matter. He'll disconnect himself from it all. He won't let himself be sensitive about it, and he'll just move on. Because all along, Tool has sort of had this intuition that it's not going to work out, or that it's not right, or that he's going to be left behind. He's always had this insecurity, so he's somewhat prepared for it in that sense. It's still going to hurt, but, he's ready to just get back up again, in a sense. Alright, and then finally, Blocky. What can you tell me about this air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini with illusion? So he's thinking that everything he's had with Mew regarding their relationship has been an illusion. It's been deceptive, it's been a fantasy, a mirage. Because he's not my type and not committed. Not my type and not committed. Well, straight away that kind of goes to being incompatible, doesn't it? Not my type. Be open to different types of people because you may be surprised who you find. Not my type. And not committed. Always chasing or being chased, you must be willing to commit to one person. Right, so this could either be that Mew is not committed to this relationship because his heart is still with someone else, or this could be that Tool is not committed to this relationship because he's not ready to sign the deal yet. He's not ready to get married yet. Could be that too. How about pride and distance here? What can you tell me about these cards, Blocky? Pride and distance. So they're too proud to admit that they have such a distance between them. What can you add to this, Blocky? Or is it their pride that has caused a problem between them because of the distance? The pride has caused the distance between them. Tell us more about these cards, please, Blocky. Pride and distance. I'll be done soon. Pride and distance. Please tell us about these cards, Blocky. What can you tell us about pride and distance?
Please tell us more about this pride and distance card here. Let me hurry up, Blocky, because my reading quota is almost up. We have somebody's woken up. Pride and distance. Tell us more, please, Blocky. What can you tell us about this pride and distance? Who has the pride and who has caused the distance? What's this about? Unlovable. Unlovable. Practice radical self-acceptance and love yourself with all your flaws. You alright?
No. Are you alright?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm alright. You know I've got a bit of a cold.
I need my hand on it.
Well,
So I could. So there we go and count. So I could not say anything to go and really get so many of them.
so unlovable, this could be like possibly Tool thinking he's unlovable, having, you know, negative self-talk. This could be Tool not willing to come out to the public until it was kind of too late.
That's a card that I'm wondering about. That's really.
Or maybe it's just unlovable is about being incompatible again. It's just they're not as compatible as they thought, or
Hey,
one of them thought.
Hey, there's a heart behind it.
Yes, there is. Maybe that means there was real love at some point. There was a heart behind it. There was real feelings. But in the end, it just turned out to be incompatible. And then what about this ego and divorce? So this is, to me, this is shouting that they're both too proud. They're both too proud and vain to admit that things haven't worked out. At least not just yet. Not until they get pushed out of their comfort zone that they're in, such as, you know, as we said, Golf kind of triggers Mew to make a decision.
Why are they upside down?
Because they are. Fixing them. Ego because they think they can fix it. Age issues, being needy and burnt out. So see, all these cards could be pointing to all the excuses that they're putting there. Hey, you okay?
I need a seat.
All right, go on. I'll be done soon anyway.
Maybe your lap can be my seat.
Well, it already is, isn't it? Just be careful, though. Be careful.
Now sit. Now
You're knocking the mic around.
Now sit. Don't break your cards.
Right. So the first card we're going to look at here. Fixing them.
Fixing the cards.
No, it's not talking about fixing the cards. Fixing them. You can't fix someone. They have to want to change, accept them, or let them go. So the reason for the hold back on the breakup, one of them or both of them think they can fix the other to make it work. Right?
Hey, look.
Then age issues.
Hey, look, I see a broken heart.
Yes.
Do we have to fix the heart?
I can't fix it. Age. Oh. Why is that so big?
age issues. That's a big problem. But the thing is, they're only 1 year, if that, apart. So I wouldn't think age problem would really apply to them.
Why is that bigger?
I don't know why it got that big. Oh, because we haven't fixed it yet. Really? Wow. All right.
Is that it?
Yes, it is. Just be careful, honey. You're knocking things around everywhere.
But can I really go and look at
You feel too old or young. Oh, you're getting a cough. You feel too old or young to date or have issues with your partner's age. All right, well, the age thing could be not just the age difference, but maybe you feel too old or young to date. Maybe this is Tool feeling too young to settle down because he wants to pursue his career and business endeavors first. Maybe that's what the age issue is about. So could be that, or it could be, I mean, what did they say? What was so proudly said on that interview of Ambulov? They said, we're not getting any younger. So if not now, when? That's what they said, wasn't it? So it could be that the reason that they're holding on to this relationship and not breaking up is because they think they haven't got anything else. You know, they're getting too old for dating, and there's little chance of somebody else being out there that will have such as good an outcome. Well, for Mew, there's definitely somebody else, but I don't know about for Tool. Then, being needy.
But I don't have a choice.
You have a choice. Oh, look at that now. It's tiny.
Can I really go and have a look? Really?
Okay,
at
shh.
the side of those cards?
Yeah, maybe after when I'm done, okay?
Okay.
Being needy. Make friends and spend time by yourself to take the pressure off your relationship. So this could also be being needy. They're not wanting to. They're putting off announcing about a possible breakup because they don't want to break it to their friends. You know, they hang out with their friends either together or separate. And, you know, they have a good time. So then there's another reason to, oh, well, let's postpone it. You know, we don't need to worry about it just yet. Something like that. Then, lastly, this other card. Burned out. You feel emotionally burned out right now. Retreat and recover before continuing. So this could be also, you know, particularly Mew. He's feeling burned out, like we've said. He's heading for that dark space again. And that could be why he's also postponing doing anything about announcing a breakup, because he doesn't want to deal with all that extra stress right now. He's not prepared to do that. Why are you laughing?
Because all of those cards are funny.
They're not really, honey. They're not funny at all. They're sad.
They're not sad.
They're sad.
They're not. They're not sad.
They're coming up with all these excuses to not announce a breakup.
They are really.
And in the end, it could be affecting their health. This burned out could even be coming over to the numbness and the health card here. But
It's so exciting.
let's get one more card out for the health card. So this numbness and health card. Tell us more about this, please, Blocky. Numbness and health card. So feeling indifferent, insensitive to a possible heartbreak or a health issue.
I don't think I can do that. I can't do that.
Not talking. Not talking is what came up. So, in other words, after the breakup, that'll be it, I guess. Not talking. You aren't communicating your needs clearly. You need to discuss how you feel. So, also the fact that after the breakup, Tool's just going to act insensitive, numb to the matter, but he's actually probably going to be really hurt inside. He's just not going to talk about it.
He's dead.
He's not going to talk about his real true feelings. He's
dead.
He's going to bottle it up, and that's possibly going to cause a health issue for him.
He's dead.
Well, that's not good news at all.
He's dead.
No, he's not dead. Tool needs to definitely, find a way to release himself after this possible breakup happens. He needs to talk to someone.
What do everyone play?
I hope he can find someone to talk it out with that, listen and will not judge.
What do everyone play? Into an example.
Okay, I can't see all the cards really, but I'll take a shot anyway.
I can see all of the cards.
Can you?
Yeah.
Alright guys, well I think that's my quota up for today. Once she's up, it's kind of hard to go on, and luckily we're almost there anyway, so now that we're done, yeah, I think we'll just leave it at that. Regarding how these readings are matching to what's actually happening right now, it's kind of the same old. It's like what you're hearing on the social media, what they're saying on interviews, what they're trying to portray to the world is not necessarily what's going on behind the scenes. And, well, Gulf is really, he's starting to think for himself now. He's possibly going to take a stand, make a move, and it'll be up to Mew. It'll be up to Mew how things go from there. And as for Tool, well, on one hand he's ready for the outcome, and on the other hand he's not at all ready. Like, he's ready financially to get back on his feet, etc. He must have some kind of backup plan in that regard.
When was Gulf really an old man?
He's not an old man. But emotionally, I don't think Tool's prepared at all, because that card says, he's not going to talk out his needs, or his he's not going to communicate how he truly feels after it all happens. So hopefully Tool may start preparing more for the emotional side now, moving forward. Now that he's got his backup plan financially, maybe he'll start thinking about what he'll do emotionally as well, so that it doesn't affect his health too much.
Hey, what's this one?
Shame, that's what Mew had. Interesting, that was the next card. Alright, anyway, like I said guys, I'll leave it at that. So thanks for watching if you did. I will try my hardest to get the translations up as soon as possible. I am just still doing the spell check for the last reading, the portraits, but I'm almost done. I just have to re-watch the video and make sure it's all aligned, and then it should be fine. So that should come up soon. Then I'll start working on this one, and hopefully we'll have this up before the next reading. So yeah, as I said on the last reading, I think the next reading will possibly be on the 11th, August 11. So I'll see you guys then. You're going to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Okay. So I'll see you guys later. Waanjai on. Bye.
Could you please?
Stream finished. When did that finish? When did that finish?
Mom.